So, you just talked about some serious piece of legislation that you were interested in bringing to the table, and that's actually something that brings dollars.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Um, what's some things about in the world of politics that maybe need to change? I mean, like, people gonna be people, and the world ain't gonna be perfect. But what's something that could change in the world of politics that would make voters want to be active in politics?
In my opinion, what I'm learning on the campaign trail is just really being visible.
Yeah.
And although when you're on the campaign trail, every single thing is a campaign.
Yeah.
But also like going places that where people wouldn't normally see a politician. Like for me, you know me in this business and around the city in general.
Yeah.
I'm going to places that I would go to normally, but for the people there, they don't see politicians there. And even when I'm going to these places and I have a sticker or a flyer on me and I'm just letting them know, hey, like I'm running for city council, even if I'm not in my district, they're just like, I've never even met a council person. Like I wouldn't even know who they are. And I'm finding out on the campaign trail that like, and I'm finding out why that is, and this is no slight to any of my competitors. This is just addressing your question. I'm finding that people don't want to talk to or don't find it valuable enough or beneficial enough to talk to people that either one, didn't vote for them, aren't going to vote for them, or two, didn't contribute to their campaign. So they figure I need to spend time elsewhere hunkering down on the people who do either one of those, committed their vote or can vote for me. Or and like, you know, we all can look up information on the political side. There's systems to where you can look up people who have voted in like the last 6 elections. We call those people super voters.
Yeah.
So people are hunkering down like, I'm going to the person I know going to vote rather than this 24-year-old who they can tell me they're going to vote, but who cares? But for me, I'm just in the service of people, and I just understand that if we want to change those dynamics of elections, of politics, that it's got to take someone to just say, you know what, yes, I'm going to go talk to super voters. Yes, I'm going to cover the track, speaking to older people, the seniors, and all that. Of course, you have to do that. But I also am going to get more people engaged and show them what it could look like. So therefore, I'm hoping to win. That's my goal. I'm not even thinking about anything else.
We're speaking that into existence.
But if I don't win, I want to make it hard for people to be like, you know what, StevO Dingle came and talked to me. And it's going to be so many people. If I don't win, it's going to be so many people that say StevO Dingle talked to me, to where the person who does win is going to have a hard time because they're going to be like, yeah, you may have won, but I didn't see you. I didn't talk to you. And that's what I'm hoping to change to where, and I always tell people all the time, once I'm even elected, I want to make it hard for the person to come after me and say, I got to do all that. Yeah. Like Steven did all, like he went even, this elementary school, kids can't even vote. Yeah. Like he was at this kid's graduation for what? I just want to I want to touch every single person that I'm here to serve because I feel like that's doing them justice, that they know me and they know I tried to get to them as best as possible. If I don't see, sometimes you go door knocking and they're not home. Yeah. But you just know that like if I leave some material at your door that I did stop by. So like I said, I find everybody to be valuable. So I think if everybody had that approach of everybody should know me, I think that'll help change it. I'm saying, because even if they don't vote, once you're elected, you serve them. So now it should make it easy to go talk to them because now you're their council person. It don't matter about getting their vote no more. Yeah. I'm here to serve you. How can I serve you kind of thing. So for me, it's just being way more visible. And I know that comes with its own level of stress. If everybody got your number, that's a lot of calls. But hey, that's what we signed up for. We're in the service business. So that's fine with me.
That's your music industry hustle talking. Because everything you said right there is the exact principles of the music industry. You have to be outside. It's an outside sport. You got to follow up with people. You got to network. You know what I'm saying? You you have to put yourself out there and you have to show people that you are available and that you are accessible, and you got to answer the damn phone even when you don't want to, because you just never know. But that's really what the hustle is. And I think that Mayor Andre Dickens does a good job at that because, especially in the last 2 years, I can definitely say, like, man, he be popping up places. You be like, I like Kasim Reed, but he wasn't at all the places that Andre Dickens be at.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Mayor Shirley Franken before him. She spoke at my college graduation. Love her, but hey, I know you were at so many places now. It was some places that you were in that, you know what I'm saying? I read it in the book. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now, like I think that's one of the best things that Atlanta is getting back to, you know what I'm saying? And also, especially in this world of social media, people like to feel like they're too important because, well, you know what? I don't need to do X, Y, and Z. I don't need to do the groundwork because I already got over 100,000 followers and they really be engaging with my page, So I got like 500,000 views on my page last month, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people don't want to do that groundwork hustle, but that's where your money is. That's where your longevity is. And it's better to do it when you want to do it and not when you're in need. You know what I'm saying? Because like, hey, just like being in the industry, you already know it's been some people who had some major positions, and then somehow, some way, they don't have that position no more, and then they trying to reconnect with people that they may have stunted on. You know what I'm saying? May have left on red. You know, like things change, you know, and hey, tables turn, bridges burn, you live and learn.
That's right. 100%. And lucky for me, like I said, stepping into politics, I've had a lot of relationships that I can just lean on from that, whether it's talking to people like you, or like you said, when I'm on the east side or our bar, they're not in the district. Yeah. It's good to have people who support you, it makes everybody feel comfortable, like, dog, he got people supporting you from here. Or shout out to the Lucid Twins, and they got their store up Howell Mill, got a sign in that store. So it just feels good that, like, although they see people see me get into politics, it doesn't feel like I have to, I got to play the game. I got to go talk to people and ask, can I get your support here and there? But it feels good to have that kind of base that I came in with, that people already trust me and believe in me to say, you know what? The fact that you're running and you're, everybody knows me as StevO, you're StevO, we support you all the time. That's enough. Yeah. And it just feels good to have that kind of support.
Yeah, man. And you speaking of your music industry relationships, like you was in the industry for what, 13 years?
Yeah, you could say I got into 2012, really late October 2011, but 2012, yeah.
Okay, so that's still during the blog era days.
Woo,
yeah. That was what a time to be outside, boy.
Absolutely.
Dang, that was a good time, man. So what made you want to get into music behind the scenes?
No, for sure. That was the blog era, and I was just being funny, writing Tumblr articles of
Tumblr, bro.
Yeah,
I missed them days. Yeah, man. Good time.
I always worked with creatives, but I always felt like I wasn't creative. So even with Tumblr, people were doing all the pictures and all that, I was just like, I can just write, I guess. So I was just doing album reviews, just writing them, being funny, like being myself, being opinionated. Yeah. And I was attending Clark Atlanta University at the time, and a couple of my friends were interning for Nina Brown. And Nina Brown.
Shout out to Nina Brown.
Yeah, so I met her at one of her events and it was at Justin's, actually.
Yeah.
What Diddy got going on, but one of Diddy's old restaurants. And I met her, and then through meeting her, she saw my Tumblr and my Twitter, and we followed each other, and she was like, oh my God, you got to meet my brother. And her brother is Noah's Ark, one of my best friends and an Atlanta legend in his own right. Met him, and he linked me with Greenmount Park. And Greenmount Park is the blog in Atlanta that Corey Davis, who just passed recently, RP Corey Davis, but Corey Davis at A-Ware started. And it just was a blog that covered everything in Atlanta, but all across the nation too. Yeah. But from art to poetry to music, whatever. So my approach was, me being from Atlanta, and then the blog era, like you may have known Smoking Section and Two Dope Boys.
Yeah,
but
Smoking Section.
My perspective was you didn't necessarily know the faces behind them. You just knew the platforms. So for me in Atlanta, I was like, I'm gonna go to these concerts. I'm gonna build these relationships with these people, these artists, and say like, look, I'm StevO, you can see me, I want to post your music. Or even the artists, I would go to a show and just be like, hey, I work for Greenmount Park, just send me your stuff. That same kind of, I just want you to know me. So that way I was just getting artists sending me stuff, building relationships. And and I just built a name like that. And then I found the artist Milo Smith that was suggested to me. And it's so funny, because I don't know if anybody saw Maya Bailey was going through it with City of Ink.
Yeah, shout out to Maya Bailey.
I was actually sitting in City of Ink, and I even commented on the page, just like, look, this was a sanctuary for me in school. Sitting in City of Ink, and a friend was like, have you heard of this chick, Milo Smith? She goes to Georgia State. Like, I see you blog. Like, you should just tap in with her, see about posting her music. And then when I tapped in with her, she didn't have any management or anything. So I was just like, look, I never managed. I've been blogging for the past couple months. I'm from here. I got relationships. Let's try it. And she just like, we met like the next day or two, and she was like, you know what? Let's try it. And that was like October 2011, and we just was rocking. We hit the ground running, booking shows everywhere. We missed A3C. But that March was South by Southwest, and she had like 6-7 shows. South by Southwest. So she didn't end up getting signed, and she's still out here being creative and doing her thing. But I can't tell my story without starting with her. So Milo Smith was my first management client, and from the blogging, and then, getting OG Macko after that.
Yeah,
they both went to Georgia State, so that was that connection.
Oh, wow, man. Dang, the blog era days. Good times, man. And like some of the platforms that you were mentioning, being on Tumblr. And I was kind of doing the same thing, because I was at Clayton State during this time, and I had an online radio show through school. And
Lakers. Clayton State.
Yeah, man. And like I would be doing the same thing like you was doing, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't outside because I worked so much. I wasn't outside. So like, I didn't start going to the department store until it was already buzzing, but it wasn't buzzing as big as it was at the time. So like it wasn't no line down the street. You could just walk in. Okay. You could still just walk in every night. You know what I mean? So right before it started getting to the line down the street, you know, and that's when I, you know, just the playlist parties, you know, and, yeah, man, and like I would just be in there and just be like, okay, who this? Who this? You know what I'm saying? Like if I liked them, hey, I just run up on them like, hey man, let me get that man, play it on my online show, and I would edit the songs because nobody had clean versions, so I had to edit the song by myself and then play it on the online show, man, back in the days, man. But that was, that was a different type of hustle, man. But that was some fun times, man. And like that's an era I just wish that this younger generation. Well, actually, I think they are a little bit on the alternative side. You know, like I think they getting a buzz on right now. Shout out to the Hood Historian, man, my boy Kodak.
Oh yeah, my boy Kodak, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, he found a good balance though, because when you talk about the youth, like, we're in our 30s, and I talk with my best friend Noah all the time about, like, we thought we were kind of like the beer and tacos guys, the spoiled milk guys, like all of us that we all had our own scenes and stuff like that. And even we came together and all of that. Like, we were supposed to not grow out of it, but we were definitely supposed to see a scene that come like after us, at least like in the physical presence.
Yeah.
And it feels like the youth, like I don't know where the youth are. But now I think it's just online is their space. And somebody, a kid told me before, like, why would I go to a venue that can hold like 125 max when I can get 500 people to watch my live? And it's just like, we know the value of going to like across the country, 125 people, but for them, that online, if I go viral on TikTok, get 1 million views, it's like, I don't need to go outside. So for them, I don't know if I'm not gonna say don't value it, but I think we just valued a bit more really creating these spaces in real life to where if somebody was to come to town or somebody wanted to see what was going on in Atlanta, they could walk in department store, Edgewood or Peter Street or wherever you want to look and just be like, a little 5 points and just say, oh, this is what's going on in Atlanta. Yeah. And I think the youth is just, the internet is just there. That's their hub. So it's hard to find it nowadays. But the culture is still there. Like I said, it's just hard to pinpoint it in the physical sense.
Yeah, and I do think like a lot of our generation just got to a point where we was like, okay, we started making it, but we was still trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? So basically, everybody had to really put themselves on to really get on. Low key, that was the only way you really got on. You know what I'm saying? You may have had opportunities, entry level stuff, whatever, but you really got started seeing real money because you did something on your own.
Yeah, we saw that the generation before us. Like we talked about, like the Chilios, the Fortiacators, the Key Henderson. These are people still doing their thing, but they've kind of like, they were all a generation of people before, and then like they had to branch off and kind of do their own thing. So that's like the natural order of things. It seems.
Yeah. It just kind of seems like the younger generation wasn't around us when we was doing what we was doing. Yeah. So it's like they couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where like our generation, shit, we was trying to be in the club by 16. Yeah, we was already trying. Like we was trying to be party promoters as soon as we graduated high school.
I tried it.
Yeah, I tried it too. Yeah. Shit, I tried to do all that, man. So of course, like we didn't want to wait. We was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I think it made time to what you were saying, you know, as far as like the internet being their hub, it was just like, okay, for them it was like, as soon as I can get on YouTube, as soon as I get on Twitch, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So just a change of the times, man. But you've done so many amazing things, selling millions of records, which is virtually impossible for a lot of it. That's a 1%er thing. Yeah. That's a real 1%.
Even saying it still sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even when I go back and look at OG Macko's YouTube, it didn't crack 1 million, but even like 780,000, you know what I'm saying? People are just like, dang, that many people watch it. And you talk about working with OG Parker and Romano and millions of records. Like, we got a diamond record. Like Walk and Talk It is like, that's insane, bro. And like to watch a lot of this production happen. Music is the most amazing thing to me because people are taking silence and turning it into things that can sell 10 million times over. So I just am never like not amazed at the fact that I can say like we sold millions of records. Like that's truly an incredible feat. So yeah, that's crazy.
So real quick, talk about your time as a manager, man. Because I think I learned a lot about management. It was a panel you was on. It was I forgot who else was on the panel. B Rich was on the panel with you, I think.
Okay. That's my guy.
I forgot where this is at. Maybe at like Al Lounge or something like that. And then during COVID. When everybody was on Clubhouse. Yeah. You definitely talked about it then. And I learned so much about management through y'all, and y'all really made me understand that I would never do that. Because I don't have that type of patience. But like just describe like what it was like being a manager.
Yeah, man. And look, to be clear, I'm not retired from music yet. Like, we'll see how this politics thing goes, but I'm not retired. Have I taken a step back? Sure. But being a manager, it was amazing, first and foremost. I don't want to, of course, everything has ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's definitely amazing, like being right there with talent, understanding we're here to accomplish a goal and help them execute their vision.
Yeah.
Like most artists want to be the biggest thing in the world. They want to see the world. They want to make the biggest records and top the charts. And the fact that I did that with, look, you're not going to go, perfect. You're not going to bat 1,000. But the fact that I did that with most of my clients is a great feeling. But it's definitely a hectic job. It's demanding. You're definitely putting people before your own. I had a kid young, so like there's sacrifices I had to make where I had to go to Europe for 2 months, and I got the mother of my child and my daughter back in the States, and they holding it down, and I had to miss recitals and things like that. Luckily, I had a good balance, but that's using an example of going on the road for a certain amount of time. You're gonna miss things, especially when you're halfway across the world.
Yeah.
But this the demanding of, it's not the individual client. The job calls for being demanded for your client. Yeah. So when it comes to getting a hotel, and you got to put the hotel, you put in their name or a hidden name, and then you got to put your name on the room, because if they don't answer their phone, or it's time to go somewhere, you got to be able to bust in the room and get them dressed. And people like to party. They could be toe up the night before. You might have to throw them in the shower. Like, it's things that you thought you shouldn't have to do for a grown person that you have to do because there's a job to be done. There's expectations to meet. So it's a demanding job, and you do everything. With the manager, there is no, oh, that's not my job. Yeah. I wish you would say that to a client. Like, that's what? I don't do that. You do everything. Yeah. Like, if they throw their shirt off and it's sweaty and you pick it up, that's just what it is. Yeah. Anything that doesn't get done is going to fall on you. Mm-hmm. Even when the label is, okay, the booking agent dropped the ball on there. Yeah. Like, if you go to a show and they ain't got your back in, they're going to be mad at the promoter. But Steve, why you ain't get the money? It's just like, they didn't have it. I don't know what you want me to do about that. So it's just understanding the expectation that your client has of you, but also understanding the sacrifice that you have to make to be a great manager for your client as well. But through that, by being a great manager, you get paid to travel the world, man, or even just the country. Even if you go to the Southeast, even getting paid, I don't care if it's $400 that y'all got to split. Getting paid to travel and perform art is one of the biggest blessings I've ever experienced in my life. So, like I said, it was demanding. I want to be clear. I know it seems glitz and glamour, traveling the world, going to 18 different countries. All that was amazing. But, boy, it could be stressful. It could be stressful for sure.
Yeah, and then you got to do it when it was fun. Like, it was a fun time in music. It was a fun time for our generation, and it was a fun time in Atlanta. Like this was when you could see it was a new generation coming. We saw it. Like, I'm one of those Tumblr guys. I remember being in college. Every day you in class, you on these blog sites, you are listening to new music. And like a lot of these people that came out during these times, legends now.
Yeah. Like, I remember when The Weeknd first dropped.
Yeah.
That House of Balloons, and nobody knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
And I was in college at that time, man. Everybody was rushing out of class, and I never smoked, but that was like, man, get some girls, boy, just on that House of Balloons, Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever dropped out of nowhere.
Oh, man.
Oh, people, I literally, people walked out of class. And people checking their phones like, oh my, like they left because
I remember being in class when it dropped, but we didn't walk out.
People walked out of class. It wasn't like the whole class.
Yeah.
But I definitely, people looking like, what happened? They was like, Wiz Khalifa just dropped. I was like, oh.
You got to get on Dat Piff. You got to get on live mixtapes. You got to get on that now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The stream is even SoundCloud because you just had to be present in the moment. You know what I mean? And like, unfortunately, I mean, even though it was still internet. Yeah. It was still internet. It was still social media. But it was still, you had to be present. That factor was still there. And now industry is kind of away from that because it's like, okay, all right, Friday come, we know somebody about to drop. I'm just gonna listen to this when I wake up in the morning. I ain't gonna stay up to midnight. So, right. You know what I'm saying? But there used to be a time where we would stay up midnight. Hey, we got to talk about this. Because as soon as it drop on midnight, you get maybe halfway through the album, and some people would just be live tweeting as they listening to the album, and you see it going on. But that was fun. Like, that was us. Like we came up in a generation where we saw all this happening. We had the Source magazine, Double XL Vibe, Source Awards, Dirty Awards,
Ozone magazine.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Smack DVDs, Raw Report. It was just so much going on, and it's like. Yeah. And it's like you had to tap in, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't coming to us fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to, soon as it came, if your homeboy got the new magazine, hey, bro, you got to pass that along, bro. I'll get back to you, dog. You know what I mean? But that's just what it was. And then, so like when we finally got an opportunity to really start being a part of it and having a voice in it, we didn't waste no time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, come on, let's go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just fun times, man. And like, just to know that I know people that was actually out here being a major part in that and playing a major role in that like, because I just wanted to be a journalist. I just wanted to be a radio personality, media personality, you know.
Hey, that's impactful too.
Yeah,
Extremely
it is
valuable.
It is, but you know, it's different when you sitting down with the person that actually did it.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people, you know, when we was coming up, people wanted to sit down with Dame Dash. You know what I'm saying? Now I know a lot of people that's like Dame Dash. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That's a big time executive. You know what I'm saying? That managed major artists, you know what I'm saying? That sold millions of records, that could tell you how you can get on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That done did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Man.